I'm Oskar.
And I'm Dan.
And today we're in
Athens, Greece.
Kalimera. After nearly a decade of full-time travel, we are on the lookout for a place to settle down. And after an incredible road trip around Greece, we are in Athens to check out if this could potentially be our future home. When it comes to what we are looking for in a home, Greece actually has a lot going for it. But will it be enough to convince us to move here? Today we're meeting locals and exploring Athens, trying to dig deeper to see how Greece stacks up against the other places we've ranked so far. And in the end, we'll share our final scores. We are in Athens for the first time in over 8 years, and we are so excited to go out and explore. We've just completed a road trip around Greece. We went all around the Peloponnese Peninsula. It has been such an incredible time. One of the most memorable trips we've had in a long time, I'd say. And now we're finishing the trip in Athens and making this video and trying to figure out, could Greece and Athens potentially be a future home? Let's find out.
It is an absolutely heavenly, glorious day in late September. That is just a huge thing to be grateful for. The temperature could not be better. There's a light, cold breeze. You know, this is what people in so much of Europe are craving and miss.
And I remember so vividly back in our less well-traveled days when we were so used to the end of Swedish summer being in August or very, very early September. And I remember going to Turkey specifically in October, and we were blown away. We were like, this is what October can be like. And it's that feeling now too, where it's summer hasn't ended here. It's still very much, going on. And I will never take that for granted.
So you may wonder, why are we considering Greece? Well, a few reasons. First of all, it's in a wonderful climate, probably the best spot you could be in Europe. It's also the closest point to Asia with very good connectivity to everywhere we like to go. It's also one of the more affordable places for foreigners.
Also, of course, it's in the EU, so it would be very simple for us as EU citizens to move here. And on top of that, there are some ways to get it more advantageous tax-wise through certain programs that they have, apparently. So we'll get more into that soon. We're starting our second day by walking through Plaka, which is the old town, or the very, very old town. Basically, everyone recommended us to check this neighborhood out in particular.
I don't think in 100 countries, 100 plus, we have ever seen so many souvenir shops.
I don't understand how all of them can survive.
Actually,
given the amount of tourists here in the streets, I understand it, but crazy.
Aren't tourists the worst?
Yeah, I know,
I have a message to the people who recommended Plaka to us. They were like, oh, if you go to Athens, you have to go to Plaka. You are so shady for recommending this. That's like someone going to New York and being like, oh my gosh, you have to go to this little indie part of town called Times Square, or in London, there's this really cute place called Piccadilly Circus. Like, why would you send us here of all neighborhoods?
As someone who grew up in a non-touristic country, I cannot even begin to understand what it must feel like to have your hometown taken over literally by tourists, or at least certain parts.
I'm 50% New Yorker. I can answer this. Every time we walked out of my dad's old apartment, we were like, get away. But yeah, it's so annoying. No wonder there's anti-tourism protests, and we know we're part of the problem. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, we're not complaining about it. And that way, I'm just it's hard to comprehend for me. I think on the other hand, certain aspects of a city become better through tourism as well. When we went to New York during COVID, and it felt so dead because there weren't any tourists. In one way, it felt really nice, but at the same time, it didn't have the same New York vibe that it usually does.
That's true.
So, I guess there's drawbacks and positives.
This is where it starts getting epic. We have tzatziki, we have Greek salad. We were just so excited. A Greek coffee, our first of the trip, despite being here a week. So let's see. Oh, I love Greek coffee. I've tried a similar variant a lot of times before, which I love. Something that has stolen the concept of Greek coffee.
Okay. I think this is our first time ever as vegans ordering a mixed grill. But this is insane. When we saw this, we're like, ugh. We have all different types of things. We have 2 different vegan kinds of souvlaki. We have some falafel. We have mung bean patties. A bunch of other good stuff.
Okay, here we go. That is insanely good.
I got a coffee to go as well, and I just have to say it's so amazing. The thing that we were really excited for with Athens was being able to have some actual vegan versions of Greek food, because that is one of the cuisines that I feel is the hardest to find veganized versions of around the world. Finally being here and being able to try some of the stuff that we haven't been able to have in almost a decade now is absolutely incredible. And so far, it's really hit the spot. So well done, Athens.
While we're on the road here in Greece, we are still internet addicts who have a lot to look up, so we need to stay connected, and we can't deal with the slow Wi-Fi in rural Greece. So instead, we enlist a trusty old friend, today's video sponsor, Saily. In our opinion, the world's best eSIM, you can get data in pretty much any country or region you're traveling to for a fraction of the price that you'd get it through your regular cell phone carrier, where you're usually getting ripped off. And what we love about Saily is you install the eSIM once, and then you can keep topping it up wherever you're traveling. So whether you go to Greece or to Thailand, you just keep adding those countries. And someone asked us the other day, do you guys actually use Saily? So I went on my bank statement and I was like, oh wow, we really do use Saily even more than I expected, because we have a lot of transactions from them. They also have a built-in VPN, they have an ad blocker, so there's no reason not to download Saily today ahead of your next trip, so it's already on your phone, so you can get connected in a matter of seconds without having to go to some booth and get a SIM when you land. Check out Saily today and get 15% off your first eSIM using code Oskar and Dan by scanning the QR code right here or by tapping that link at the top of the description.
One thing we've noticed so far, just like walking around a little bit, is that there's a lot of green spaces, like small, tiny little parks, just like nestled in between all the buildings, which I think is really, really nice. And not even something you get in all European cities even. And that's, of course, not to mention the insanity, the literal insanity of these ancient ruins from like thousands of years ago that are still standing today. And it's like you're constantly just walking through an open air museum, just by walking through the city. That is pretty extraordinary, actually.
As a tourist, I absolutely love the markets here. I think it's so fun and vibrant, but I know that quite likely if we lived here, we wouldn't shop at them so often. We'd prefer to go to a big grocery store. The only place we've lived where we really shopped at places like that is Seoul, which has a few really nice vegetable markets. But we do know that the Greek grocery stores are pretty awesome. We made it to Sklavenitis, specifically a hypercenter outside the city.
Giant supermarket.
Incredibly clean and so satisfying.
Look at the floor. It's spotlight. Like I could see my reflection in it.
Everything is so, like, in so many parts of Europe and the US, grocery stores look like a mess these days. Like someone's just gone like this on the shelves.
Just like thrown, yeah.
This is crazy. Like everything is meticulous here. Let us show you. They have a restaurant in here. They have it all.
Absolutely massive. And I think there's a second floor too, which is insane.
Is this vegan Dubai chocolate ice cream?
That would be plant-based.
Stop.
Okay, wait, we can't get those because it's gonna melt. No, what are we gonna do?
We just have to have it for breakfast. Guys, this is incredible. They sell these cooling bags so we can bring our frozen products with us for only €1.60.
That's actually crazy.
I'm in love.
It feels so wasteful, but it's very needed.
It's less wasteful than needing to buy like a reusable one that we can't bring with us on our travels. So I'm obsessed. The amount of different types of feta cheese.
Like there's a whole feta cheese section.
This is
that is crazy. Do they have vegan feta cheese? I doubt it.
Not here, at least.
No. Wait, I said that jokingly, but look.
Wait, what is vegan?
Vegan. Wait, let me try to read this. tangy. I don't know. Okay, we had to get some of the vegan feta cheese. I mean, obviously vegan feta cheese is something we've had a lot of times before, but it's usually just like in the vegan section. But the fact that they had vegan feta cheese in the deli section is just wild. And we got quite a big chunk for just €1.50.
And we have all these. How are we supposed to decide which feta to get?
Oh, there's other fetas.
Yes, this one looks so Greek. We kind of need to get this, no?
Wait, that as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. And then we can sample and try and compare.
This is crazy. This grocery store is frankly amazing. They have so much awesome stuff.
Okay, and here we have the quote-unquote ethnic food section, which is Mexican cuisine. And we have, oh, actually an Asian as well. Is under the umbrella of ethnic food, apparently. And all of this basically is gluten-free as well. Look at that. This is why we wanted to stop at like a real hypermarket like this. It will be interesting to compare this to like a smaller local or like neighborhood grocery store later. Just a few things for the week ahead.
I'm afraid, no, for the 4 days ahead. I'm afraid we overdid it. Okay, we're back at our new favorite place, Kavanitis.
Scalabanitis.
It is the best.
The
So this-
besties.
Yeah, this is a little city one. What are these? This brand and this specific hummus is incredible. Some of the best grocery store hummus ever. And look at this. Grapes picked off the stem already for €1.13. There's 88 cents. Baby formula, you know, because
That's gonna be essential.
yeah, that's gonna be something.
Real soon?
Yeah, not real soon, but always expensive. Always, always, always. One thing about Greek people is that they are so friendly, at least toward us. Some people might disagree with this, but people smile at you in the grocery stores. Everyone is just really welcoming, which is quite rare in a very touristy country in Europe.
One thing that I've definitely become more cognizant of the older we get is that people generally, I'm going to say this very generally, aren't the nicest toward young men, which I totally
honestly,
get.
yeah.
Like I get it.
Like
100%.
slay queens.
Yeah, but like it's so noticeable like to us when we're alone and the sort of treatment we get versus if we're with our mothers, for example, then the treatment is so much nicer.
Yeah.
So the fact that we haven't had a single bad interaction, I'd say, this
Yeah,
whole time in
I know.
Greece with a Greek person.
Speaking of nice people in Athens, let's meet some of them.
All right, we are here at an amazing vegan dessert cafe with Olivia, Maria, and Orion.
Hi guys.
They live in Athens, so what is that like? That's what we're trying to figure out.
I'm Greek. I spent half my life here. So 0 to 14 here, 14 to 27 in America. I moved here from LA in June 2021. And you moved here a couple months later. Now we live in the suburbs by the sea. So that's pretty amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And nice sunset just about every night, no matter the time of year.
Let's say someone is visiting or you want to do something with friends. Do you always have an idea of like, oh, I know what we should do. There's always something fun to do. Growing up, something frustrating for us in Sweden was that literally if it's like, what should we do this weekend? I have no idea because nothing's happening.
As a foreign person, you're gonna be more limited.
Yeah, that's
Because,
true.
but the truth is that Greece, if you speak the language, has a lot of events year round.
Yeah.
You have concerts, you have a lot of theater. Theater is really big.
There's a lot of stuff in the arts, different exhibits, concerts.
Wine festivals. I am seeing some more stand-up comedians come and they speak English. Yeah, usually when we have people coming, we literally do the same thing. We just tour around,
Yeah.
Eat, drink. If it's summer, we go to the beach.
In Greece, you have beaches everywhere, and they're really nice. And I think that's my favorite thing about
too.
Greece. Yes.
Definitely. The beaches and the food.
So we've been seeking some respite from the heat inside this beautiful little park in Pankirati, which is a neighborhood that we were recommended to check out because it's much more residential and kind of slightly nicer, I guess. Not upscale necessarily, but just like slightly nicer. I don't know.
One thing though, I was saying earlier, Athens and Greece in general is surprisingly expensive. Like our lunch was €56. I can't imagine what the average salary is here. Sorry, live Googling. So the average salary in Athens falls between 1,300 and 3,000 euros a month. So imagine you're making 1,300 euros a month, which I know is common in a lot of Southern Europe. But then the prices are high. Like our grocery store bills were also really high.
Yeah, true.
That is tough. The math just doesn't work. The math is not mathing.
And so that leads into, I guess, like cost of living and that kind of stuff. How do you think that situation is?
Because of the tourism, the Airbnbs, and a lot of expats, we have a big rise in expats coming to live here, especially a little further out from Athens and the area where we are at. You hear English and other languages being spoken quite a bit, then you can tell they're not tourists. So that has risen the cost, because as a tourist, if you come from a country where your salary is pretty decent, not even like great, you're gonna think that the prices here are good. But for the Greeks, it's not. Like taking the ferry to go to an island used to be somewhat doable. Now they cannot go, because I mean, for a family of 4, it will cost maybe €1,000 back and forth.
What?
So the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is 550 to 600 euros, up to 800 in the city center, and a 3-bedroom goes up to 1,700 in the city center. So at least rent is quite low, I would say, compared to a lot of other European cities.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is good. But yeah, if we were to come and move to like Glyfada or to Ellinikon, once that opens, the rent there will probably be crazy.
A lot higher. Yeah.
So in terms of cost of living, it's really not very, competitive compared to most of the rest of Europe. Is there any animosity toward foreigners who move here?
I can't say that I've seen anything that would show that. No, I think people genuinely do like foreigners.
To some extent, I have heard of people saying rents in the center of Athens used to be €400, like right before the pandemic. Now with the expats moving in and all the Airbnbs, so then it's completely unapproachable for someone making €800 a month, and the government doesn't offer things to make it better. They just pocket all the money. It's a very well-known fact, our government after government, it's not just this one, just pockets all the money. They drive super expensive cars. And
so what would you say is like the civil sort of relationship between like the people and the government in Greece?
It's not good.
It's not good.
From anyone across the board, left, right, center, nobody trusts the government.
I always am curious when I meet locals, and they've lived life quite a bit here in Greece, and I ask them. It's really sad because they have lost hope. It's kind of like, things suck, but there's nothing we can do. It's like that's the overall consensus. So there's not really, maybe the younger people want to revolt and do more, but the older generations are just like, it's terrible. If you call an ambulance, it's not gonna come even within half an hour. We've heard of cases coming the next morning. We had to call the police on some domestic violence once that we heard.
Oh my gosh.
The police called me back 3 hours later, we're here. And I'm like, I left. The guy came out, we spoke to him. I mean, if he killed his wife, because we have a lot of femicides, especially in the summer.
There was,
it's terrible. Every summer after summer, there's at least once a week you hear about a femicide, and the police doesn't come in time.
How do you feel about safety in general?
I do think it's a very, very safe place. Despite like the chaos that we're talking about, I've never once felt unsafe here.
No, even in the dark, if you go through a park in our neighborhood, like I walk around sometimes at 11, okay, I'm gonna be more aware, but I never have any scary feelings.
Wow.
So
Absolutely nothing. That's
And never
really
any
helpful.
theft or anything like that.
Theft, we haven't experienced, but you hear of.
it does happen, especially in the center. So if you are in the super touristy area,
Attenzione, pickpocket!
Guys, I think it's settled. They have Oakberry in Athens, so it's an actual contender.
This was literally one of the first countries that Oskar and I went to together. We had such a different perspective. We had a day in Athens then. We'd both been to Greece as kids on vacation, but we had a day in Athens together, and now being back, of course we see it through such different eyes, and we keep drawing comparisons. Overall, it feels so much more Eastern European than we expected or remembered. Of course, wherever we're moving, how you're accepted is very relevant, right? So as a couple, how has your experience been?
There's a big LGBT community, but I can't say that I'm comfortable holding hands on the street, telling people that we're a couple that we don't know. So
Never felt in danger or feel like someone could be threatening, but I think it's just like a general old-fashioned way of thinking. More people would think that we're sisters or friends or maybe mother and daughter before actually being a couple, which to me is a pretty big thing. To feel seen.
everyone in our building thinks we're sisters.
If you were to have kids here, I guess that would be a concern, right? Like people in their classmates, what do they tell them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to raise kids here.
No, they would definitely be bullied. We had this conversation with other young people. And they're like, yeah, why don't you live here? Like, it's okay. Like, we have good school systems. The school system is great. And I was like, aren't our kids gonna get bullied? He's like, yeah, you're right.
It's unfortunate because I would say that Greece is a very kid-friendly place. People love kids. So it's a bit sad in that way that for us, we'd probably have no problem. People would be welcoming, but in schools, I think it would be a very different situation.
Something I just found so funny, which I don't think is that maybe that funny to Greek people or to Turkish people, but the rivalry between Greece and Turkey. Obviously, there's a lot of history there, a lot of animosity, but I just find it so funny how like they always fight over like food items. Baklava is Turkish, it's Greek. There's all these different things, right? And here, we just found Greek delights. I don't think I've ever seen it be called that before. Maybe it's a thing.
Also, this sounds amazing. Oregano food.
Ooh, I've never seen that
I
before.
don't want to try it. Later.
Later.
The influence of religion here.
In my opinion, more people here are culturally religious, so which goes with certain ways of thinking, but not actively, devoutly religious. So much of the society is culturally Greek Orthodox, so and that just reflects that.
The society has been held back a lot because of that. The Greek people are paying taxes to the church, and what is the church really giving them back? In general, Greeks love the tourists. So unlike what's happening in Italy and Spain, we welcome them. We want them. It's a really, really, really big part of the economy.
Careful what you wish for.
I don't necessarily like that. If you look at Athens right now, it's packed for being September. Basically, we have something called the saison, the season. So a lot of Greeks will work just for the season and make a bunch of money during the summertime. So they forgo their summer vacation and the nice island life, and they work 13-hour days for 4 or 5 months straight, and then they get a governmental subsidy for the rest of the year.
Really?
If you have done seasons 2 years in a row. So the government encourages of working the season and all that. So they love the tourists.
One last thing I just want to talk about as well is like convenience, because we have a metric about that.
Things are not open on Sundays. Supermarkets aren't open. Some like high street shops are.
Only maybe in the center here, not anywhere else.
Yeah. Otherwise,
exactly.
we don't have Amazon here.
Dan is like, okay, no.
Is there somewhere you order online that's like
Yes.
quick delivery?
Not 2-day Amazon delivery.
Okay.
Actually, if it comes from within Greece, it can be pretty good, but a lot of stuff don't come from within Greece, so that will delay it. But I gotta say, the delivery system within Greece is
that
pretty
is
decent.
impressive.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is impressive, but no Amazon, so that was a big thing to get used to once we moved here.
Convenience for very good food is very impressive.
Okay.
Like you can find a good meal, not too expensive. You can find really good seasonal produce.
What about like food delivery or grocery delivery? Do you ever do that?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing, yeah.
It's really good.
Again, with food, everything is
Yeah,
top.
okay.
Food is the priority.
So
Yeah.
anything that has to do with food, they have perfected it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah. We hope to see you here.
You guys might move, so
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Alright guys, and with that, it's time to finally conclude with our scores for Greece as a place to live. We just want to preface this by saying that we actually really thought that Greece would work, and we thought it had a lot of potential. But in the end, our score actually comes out to be, you know, so-so, which is sad.
The interesting thing that we learned on this trip, being on the mainland, is that Greece is way less European feeling than we expected, which is good in some ways, and it's really cool as a visitor. That brings us to our scores. And by the way, guys, this will probably be one of our last Should We Move To videos. In 2026, not only are we committing to where we're gonna move, but we will actually move finally. So we'll be done with this, because this was great fun in the beginning, and now it's like...
We're a bit tired.
Yeah, we are like, just give us our apartment, give us our documents, and let us be done.
Let us settle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think we've learned a lot of interesting things throughout this process, which is really cool. And thank you for following along.
And we hope you guys have learned some interesting things as well, because we certainly didn't know half the things that we learned about the places that we were checking out before making the videos. So it's been a nice learning process of turning a place from like a destination into a potential home. You know, like those are two very different lenses to look at a place through. So
100%. So let's start off with weather. One of the best things about Greece, 9 out of 10. I mean, it's almost perfect. Have we given a 10 out of 10 to any place?
I'm actually not sure. Well, fact check that.
You guys probably know. We just can't keep track. In terms of connectivity, we gave Athens specifically 7 out of 10 because it's well connected. Flights are a bit cheaper there than from some of the other cities we're considering moving to. But in general, it's not the best connected. The airport is also not that great. So safety, this is difficult to evaluate as always, unless you're in a place that's like 10 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. The problem that we learned from Olivia and Maria is that a lot of the authorities in Greece are a little bit, you know, you help me out and I'll help you out.
Pay your way forward, so to speak. And like, we don't know where else to bake that in other than this category. It just contributes to this air of not feeling like, will I get help when I need it? Will I have to, you know, bribe someone to get what I need? Will I need to pay someone to like perform surgery on me correctly? Like, we just don't want that to be part of our reality.
Proximity to nature is, of course, 10 out of 10. I mean, hello, Greece is absolutely stunning. You have mountains surrounding Athens. You have great beaches.
Cost of living, this is a bit of a mixed bag because we feel like a lot of things in Greece in general and in Athens specifically were not as cheap as we were expecting. But then on the other hand, some things are a lot cheaper than other places in Europe, for example.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that for Greek people, cost of living is like 1 out of 10. So that's mildly problematic. Yeah. But when we're lucky to have the same salary wherever we move because we work online, rent, for example, is quite affordable to us in Athens. But things like groceries and taxes, they are not as affordable or low as you expect in most cases.
Availability, convenience, and entertainment, we gave it another 6, which feels fair given everything that Maria and Olivia told us about, you know, delivery times, stuff like that. Some things are readily available and you can get it delivered very quickly and quite cheaply. There isn't Amazon, so Dan would have a meltdown.
I mean, to be fair, we've checked some other places that don't have Amazon and you find solutions. I just feel like it's a first world problem, but in terms of can you get everything like this? Hello, drone delivery in 5 minutes? No, they obviously don't have that. And part of this is also like opening hours. So if things close on Sundays or close early or open late, things like that, that's also contributing to make it less convenient.
For sure. Food scene though, we gave an 8, and this is actually in large part due to the grocery stores, which we found amazing. Slavonitis for the win.
It was so easy for us to find amazing things to cook in our Airbnbs at almost any grocery store. But in Athens, oh my god, so many good meals.
The vegan food, wow.
Yeah, basically not a 10 out of 10 because we prefer noodles and rice over potatoes and pasta.
Yeah.
But that's just an us problem. Greek food is obviously incredible and delicious and healthy.
Very healthy, yeah.
Yeah, and the use of vegetables is just...
The use of vegetables.
Yeah, like the fact that Greece eats salads,
right?
Which, you know, in so many countries is such an unfamiliar concept. And now we end with 3 5s in a row. So we gave a 5 to ease of integration, culture and values, and family environment.
Yes.
So just to briefly tick those off, because we don't want to, focus too much on negativity, I think the common thread between the 3 of them are that Greece is a very conservative, religious, traditional society.
In many facets still. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, of course, in Athens, as in any big capital city, there will be pockets where it's not like that. But unfortunately, although every Greek person that we met on this trip pretty much was so lovely and warm and friendly and welcoming, if they had known that what we are, they might not have been as welcoming. And I think Olivia and Maria unfortunately said that they've faced a lot of issues, and it doesn't make for the easiest place to integrate or the best place to raise a family. And we were so surprised because we frankly didn't know that Greece was still that conservative.
And I think the thing is also that we saw so much like LGBT life and so many like very open LGBT people in Athens. So then when we spoke to Maria and Olivia, we were honestly quite surprised by how sort of strongly they felt about it. When it comes to things like raising a family, it is just a completely different ballgame. And honestly, for us, family environment would be even lower of a score, but we felt like that wouldn't be fair to just give it like a 2 or a 1.
So that is Greece. And in total, the score is 67 out of 100. So we're 2/3 of the way to 100, guys, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that places Greece toward the bottom of the places we've checked.
It is at the bottom.
For living.
Yeah,
but for visiting, oh my God, of course, 10 out of 10. Go. We're so excited for the next time we're going to go there already.
We might go next summer, honestly.
No, every summer from now on, I think.
With that, like we said at the start of this ranking all these places has been a very fun ride. We're gonna do a few more, but next year, 2026, is when we finally decide, like we said. So at some point next year, it's happening.
Yeah. There's like a couple curveballs where we could be like, okay, we're actually moving there. But right now, obviously, we're nearing a decision, which is really exciting. So until we see you in the next video, as always, see you around the world. And don't forget to check out Saley ahead of your next trip.